Hey guys, hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Whether you're checking this out in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening, today I wanted to go through my top 5 Wii knives. And the way I thought I would go through these is in the order that they came into my collection because I really don't have a favorite. We'll talk about some of them that stand out. But Wii knives, when I first got into the knife game, this was probably my first over $100 purchase. It didn't have the Space Kitty scales that my brother from another mother said Stevie was kind enough to gift to me. Um, but it was the basic black Banter with the black blade. This was when Ben was still on Blade HQ, and I was just totally bought in by the hype. And when I got the knife, I really loved it. I mean, it was my first, what I would consider a nicer knife when I'd been collecting budget knives for, probably for 3 or 4 months and just hadn't gotten the courage to jump up and get something nicer. So the Wii Banter was the first into that higher cost, over $100 knife at least. But this little guy is 20 CV. It was designed by Ben Banners. It's a very small knife. It's right under a 3-inch blade, liner lock, G10 scales, fantastic detent, fantastic action, and a knife that the pocket clip works great on. The sliceability that this knife offers you is fantastic. It's a smaller knife, so it's very easy for an EDC platform. I carry it both to work, and I can use it on some harder tasks too. But that's the Wii Banter, and it was my first foray into a higher priced knife, and I have no regrets. It stayed in my collection and probably will stay in my collection. I've gotten a Civivi Baby Banter since, but this would be our Wii Banter. After that, and one of my favorite Wiis that got a lot of just what I felt like under love. This knife was overlooked. It is the Fornix. It's the Wii Fornix. They did 200 in titanium. They did 200 in black titanium. Just a fantastic knife. Super, super slicey. It's got a nice little poon up there. It's a frame lock knife. The action's great. I want to say this might be S35VN. But what I love about this knife is the ergos. It's the largest of my favorite Wiis. Gives me a full 4-finger grip on the knife. I've got a choil that I can really choke up and then use that little poon there in the blade. Pinch grips, it cuts great. Push cuts, pull cuts. This is just a fantastic knife, guys. And what I love about it, these might still be available, I'm not sure, but what I love about the thumb deployment hole is there's no bad place to get this. I mean, I cannot fail this knife. I can get it right up by the pivot. I can get it all the way down the spine or anywhere in between, and the detent just pops it out. And the ergos on this knife, again, are fantastic. It does have a traditional flipper where the Banter had thumb studs, but I used the deployment hole. And again, just do not understand why this knife didn't get more love when it came out. But it is the Wii Fornix. It'll always be in my collection. It is one of my top Wii knives. And guys, then we go to one of my favorites. This one has a little bit of elevation. These last three are, and I don't even know how to classify them, but this is the Wii Roxy 3. This is a knife that I had chased and I could not find. And then our good friend Brandon Thrasher, Thrasher's Garage, made this available to me and put a deal together for me and even held it for a week while I was waiting to get a commission check. So what I have to say about that is do something kind for someone. Be up. Brandon Thrasher, you are the man. I love the Roxy. I love the choil. I love the way it feels in my hand. It's a Todd knife and tool collaboration. I've got several Best Tech Todd knife and tools and really just have always appreciated their design language. But with this collaboration with WE, the action, the front flipper is just tuned in. The Best Techs are great. I'm not going to take anything away from the Shodan, from the Exploit, or from my malware, but I feel like the WE Roxy 3 is a little bit in a class of its own. I love that Wharncliffe blade. I love the fuller that runs down the blade. You can flick that fuller, or you can flick the hole, or you can front flip it, which I'm not a big front flipper, guys. I'm a deployment hole guy or a fuller guy. But all WEs are just amazingly ergonomic. I mean, they're set up to be an extension of your hand. I am not deep into the WE collecting right now. I was at one time, and these are the ones that have stayed in my collection that I haven't moved on. And I really just love these knives, guys. So let's go to our fourth one, and this is probably one of my favorites, and this is the WE Mini Malice button lock that I picked up in Atlanta at Blade Show, and also where I had one of my biggest regrets because I missed a knife that'll be next on this list because I didn't know what it was because I was too smitten from this one. And Blade Show, if you guys have been there, when you're hanging out with your best friends and you're looking at a bunch of knives, things can kind of get cloudy. You can miss things. I mean, it's just part of it. It's the way it rolls. But this is the WE Mini Malice. The Malice was a full-size knife. I consider this kind of a medium-sized knife. I can get a full 4-finger grip on the handle. I've got, again, a fantastic choil, a nice drop point blade that's a flat grind that comes down to a super, super sharp edge. And guys, the button lock on this particular knife is probably one of the, I've got a Max Ace Babylon that has a fantastic button lock. This one is right up there with it. My hand got a little sweaty, so I'm having trouble flicking that fuller. That's one thing that I would improve on this knife. I know that that's part of the styling of the knife, but it does, if your hands get sweaty, it's harder to get in there and flick it, where if it had just been a deployment hole. And I know that takes away from the styling, and how dare me even muse such thoughts, but that's my take on it. I wish it was a full fuller, but I rarely fail it as I fail it. Great knife, WE Mini Malice, button lock. And what happened with this knife, guys, I'll go ahead and tell you. I went to the WE booth at Blade Show, and they had 5 or 6 new knives. Everybody, the hype was around the Mini Malice. I was with Tri-State EDC. We walked up and both gobbled one up. And what I didn't realize was my 5th favorite knife that I had to chase after Blade Show, the WE Snacks Visionar, was sitting right by this knife at Blade Show, and I had no idea what it was. Did not pick it up. Again, Blade Show is wide open, guys. It is, you're hanging out with your best friends, you're looking at a ton of knives, there's more than you can see. It is easy to miss something like this. Brother Tri-State did not miss it, and he got it. He didn't get the Malice at the time. He got the Snacks. I got the Malice. We went back out to LJ where we were staying. We looked at each other's knives, and I was like, I cannot believe I just walked away from an opportunity to get the Snacks Visionar before it came out with the Snacks lock. Guys, this is a fantastic knife. This knife, I'm going to move these out of the way, because if I had to give props to a number one, it would be this knife. The pocket clip concerned me when I first saw it, not knowing how it would work. Guys, it's the best pocket clip in the game. This thing slips right in the back of my pocket, lays flat, goes in any type of pants, from jeans to khakis to workout pants. the Snacks lock, which you just simply give it a little depress, pull that back just a hair, and it basically pulls it back in. Look at that. And this is horizontal, guys. Super, super well tuned. And then if you look at how the knife fits in my hand, it's a little bit larger than the Mini Malice. Still has that fantastic wee choil. Has that nice reverse tanto kind of sheep's footy blade that is just slicey as it can be in 20 CV and titanium. But this knife, guys, is an absolute winner. So when Blade Show was over and these first dropped at, I forget where, I missed them. They came back out, a few here and there. I missed them, or I wasn't in a position to grab it when it came out. And then I finally snagged one. And I think my my unboxing video, was my biggest Blade Show regret, because not grabbing this when I had the chance. But that is the Wii Visionar, a Snacks design. Ben Peters, the Wii Banter. Amazing, amazing Todd Knife and Tool Wii Roxy 3. Mini Malice, one of the best button locks in the game. And then the unsung hero that I feel was overlooked and it really deserves a lot more love, and at least it gets love in my collection because I think it's fantastic. That is the Wii Fornix. Guys, I always appreciate it when you stop by and you check out my videos. I love every one of you. And like I always ask, please look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Just look out for each other, guys. Be kind to each other. Lift each other up. I love you all. Peace.